which is All right, good afternoon, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here. Wanted to give an update on the forecast and specifically focusing a little bit more on today and tomorrow, especially tomorrow, because we do have the potential for seeing some strong, maybe even severe thunderstorms. It's not a guarantee everybody's going to see that, but we may have enough of those ingredients come together to get a little bit of severe weather across the area tomorrow. But starting off with today, it's been very warm, a little humid, and we are also tracking a few showers on our first alert radar this afternoon. So let's take a look at that. Currently, as of about 2:51, we've got a few of those showers mainly farther inland at this time, passing through Stone County, northern Pearl River County. Looks like right around the Wiggins area, we've got a heavy pocket of rain. That could limit visibilities today if you're going to be driving. At least these showers are not very big, and overall, the rain should be fairly brief, and not everybody is going to see rain today, but just a heads up on your evening commute, you may be running into a few of these showers here or there. I'm also not ruling out a few rumbles of thunder. Severe weather risk today, very, very low. We'll keep an eye on things, but I'm not too concerned with that today. We'll let you know if anything changes. Noticing there a lot more rain to our north and west. That batch of rain is along a cold front. This front's going to try to get closer to us tonight, but it kind of fizzles out a little bit as it makes its way closer to us. And then by tomorrow, it returns back to the north as a warm front. And temperatures today are definitely on the warm side. There is no doubt about that. We've had temperatures in the upper 70s on the coast. We've been seeing some 80s as well, a little bit farther inland. I'll show you that in just a few moments. Rain chances the rest of tonight, very hit or miss. Like I said, not everyone is guaranteed to see rain over the next few hours, but with that potential, just a heads up, that could slow you down on your evening commute, or if you're going to be heading out later this evening, even after the sunset. And by tomorrow morning, we're also looking at another chance of seeing some hit or miss showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, but most of the rain tomorrow likely going to be in the afternoon and later that night. The morning, while there still could be a few showers, doesn't look like a complete washout. Tomorrow night, that may be a little bit of a different story. There's those temperatures I was talking about. It is very warm outside, and it looks like we've actually cooled down a little bit in some of our inland areas that have now seen a little bit of rain. 77 in Wiggins, 76 in Perkinston, but just about an hour ago, those areas were in the low 80s. We're in the mid to upper 70s closer to the coast, seeing some of those 80s across Pearl River County. Overall, it is feeling more like April, I would say, rather than early February. But despite it being so warm outside today, we do have a pretty significant cool down up ahead in our 7-day forecast. Much cooler air is on the way next week. Most of this week, though, is looking fairly mild. But check out the big spread in temperatures across the state. This cold front living up to its name, because behind the front, it is much cooler. 46 in Greenville, 44 in Tunica. Meanwhile, along the Gulf Coast, we are well into the 70s and 80s. And with that warm, humid air, that is going to set us up for the potential of seeing some thunderstorms tomorrow, and a few of which could be on the strong side. So this cold front slowly getting closer to us tonight. If it moves through close enough or just enough to our south and east, we may be able to briefly cool down, but I'm expecting this front to return back to the north as a warm front tomorrow ahead of another cold front. And that's the front that's going to be bringing with it another chance of seeing some showers and storms. So all in all, we want everyone to stay weather aware over the next few days, especially tomorrow. And also as we get into Saturday, by the weekend, we have another chance of seeing some strong thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center expanded that level 2 or slight risk of severe weather for all of South Mississippi tomorrow. It also now includes the New Orleans metro area, Mobile, and parts of the Florida Panhandle. Keep in mind that storms don't really know any boundaries, so don't get too hung up on where exactly that level 2 risk starts and ends. Generally speaking, areas highlighted in yellow have a slightly better chance or higher chance of seeing some severe weather tomorrow. And just because we're in that yellow color doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see severe weather. It's just that the probability is a little bit higher, and we want people to stay on guard tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and possibly as late as very early Thursday morning. The timing of this is going to be interesting. We may have 2 rounds of thunderstorms that we're going to be watching. The first round developing over South Mississippi by the afternoon, and some of those lingering into the evening. That first round poses a threat of some strong wind gusts, maybe even a few brief tornadoes. Not going to rule that out. By the end of the evening, we'll have a line of showers and thunderstorms moving in from the north and west. That line is going to be ahead of the cold front. That line more so may have a risk of some strong straight line winds, and depending on how much rain we get earlier in the day, that could set us up for some isolated flooding. The overall flooding risk is on the low end, but something to keep in mind is that the vegetation is still pretty dead across the area, so the ground not able to absorb some of that heavier rainfall. Just a heads up on that. But overall, in terms of severe weather, strong wind gusts and a few brief tornadoes are going to be our primary concerns. So let's play this out on Futurecast. We literally just got the latest run of this forecast model within the past 15 to 20 minutes or so. So tonight, still could see some spotty showers. It's going to stay fairly warm and muggy this evening. We may briefly cool down a little bit as we head into Tuesday night tonight. I should say late tonight, with temperatures falling into the low 60s. But then by tomorrow morning, we are right back into that warm, muggy air, maybe a little patchy fog possible. As we head into the afternoon, that's when our rain chances will increase. This is stopped at noon, right around lunchtime. I will say this latest run is a little bit faster with bringing in those afternoon storms. We'll continue to watch trends on that. These thunderstorms are going to be forming out way ahead of the cold front. These are sometimes what we call discrete thunderstorms, and typically these pose a little higher risk for tornado development. So something we will monitor closely heading into Wednesday afternoon. And some of those also could produce some heavy rainfall in a short amount of time. That's going to cause some issues if you plan on driving around the area Wednesday afternoon and also into early Wednesday evening. So the first round expected to move through in the afternoon and early evening. Another round looking pretty likely right ahead of the cold front. This round moves more so in late Wednesday night and possibly after midnight. It may not be until very early Thursday morning that the rain finally moves out of the way and it crosses off into parts of Alabama. Notice there too that it's still going to be fairly warm and muggy by Wednesday evening. So we still have a little bit of what we call instability left to work with to help sustain some of these thunderstorms. We'll see how well they hold together as they push through South Mississippi. Hopefully they can die down a little bit, but we will be watching closely. We may see some stronger wind gusts right along the leading edge of those thunderstorms. Once the rain pushes out of the way, we are expecting a decent cool down by Thursday morning, temperatures dropping into the 50s. By Thursday afternoon, it's still going to be a fairly warm or mild, high temperatures close to 70, but I'll show you in just a few moments that Valentine's Day is looking just a little bit cooler. Also want to talk about Severe Weather Awareness Week. I'd say it's pretty appropriate given that we have a chance of seeing some severe weather here in South Mississippi. And Severe Weather Awareness Week, that is in place this week for the entire state of Mississippi. Unfortunately, this state is no stranger to severe weather, especially to our neighbors just to our north across the Pine Belt, the central part of the state, and North Mississippi. Sometimes they can get some very powerful tornadoes. But of course, we can get severe thunderstorms here right along the coast. Each day this week is dedicated to a topic regarding severe weather. Today's topic is regarding flash flooding. Thankfully, the flooding risk overall is on the low end tomorrow, but these are always nice tips to remind yourself in case you do run into any flooded roads or if you do subject yourself to flash flooding. So in the event that we do have flash flooding, always best to be on higher ground. Don't try to drive through flooded roads. I know that can happen easily here in South Mississippi, also in the New Orleans metro area. It doesn't take much rain at all or standing water to cause issues. So as we always say, turn around, don't drown. And anytime that we do have flash flooding ongoing, we like to update our weather app. That's a great way to stay informed with the forecast. You can download our First Alert weather app for free, whether you have an Android or an iPhone. So that's a great way to stay informed, not only if we have flash flooding, but also if we have other severe weather events or as we head into hurricane season as well. You name it, if it's dealing with weather, we typically will keep you updated on the app. So hopefully we don't have to deal with any flash flooding tomorrow, but that is today's topic for Severe Weather Awareness Week. So in addition to the chance of seeing some severe weather tomorrow, it's also going to be pretty windy. Overnight tonight, the wind not going to be too bad, but we're going to start to see the wind really pick up tomorrow ahead of some of these thunderstorms from the south, maybe a tiny bit out of the south and east by tomorrow afternoon. Some gusts close to 40 miles per hour, not totally out of the question, more so over the sound and for offshore areas. So if you have plans to take the boat out tomorrow, things are not looking great. Not only are we going to see some thunderstorms, but it's also going to be very windy. And even onshore, we could see some gusts over 25 to 30 miles per hour. As we get into the evening, we're more so going to see that wind out of the south and west, still pretty breezy. The cold front pushes through late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We'll see that wind shifting more so out of the north, and that's going to help to bring in some cooler air by Thursday morning and slightly cooler air by Thursday afternoon, even though temperatures still expected to be right around 70 or so. So let's talk about our Valentine's Day forecast. I'm sure a lot of people have plans. Valentine's Day is going to be one of the cooler days of the week. Nothing unusual for February, but given that we've been in the 70s and 80s for a little while, Valentine's Day may be a little bit chilly to some of us, especially in the morning. Valentine's Day is Friday this year, and we will be starting off in the 40s, a little bit of a chill. By the afternoon, we'll be in the low to mid 60s. That's pretty typical for this time of the year, and by the evening, we may start to drop back into the 50s. So if you have any dates planned in the evening, you may want a light jacket, you may want a light sweater. Rain is not going to be too much of an issue. Could see a few spotty showers, but most of the day on Valentine's Day is looking fairly dry. Can't completely rule out maybe a few showers here or there, but it's not going to be much. That being said, heading into Saturday, specifically Saturday night, our rain chances go right back up, and we are going to be warm and humid again on Saturday ahead of another cold front, and this is also going to bring the chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms across the southeast once again, and that does include South Mississippi. The timing of this we'll need to fine tune a little bit as we get closer to the weekend, but for now, looks like our best chance of seeing some of these showers and storms this weekend will be late Saturday night, maybe a few of those sticking around into early Sunday morning. The Storm Prediction Center has already outlined a good portion of the southeast under a level 2 or slight risk of severe weather. And that does include South Mississippi, and it virtually includes the entire state. Now, as we get closer to Saturday, they will fine-tune their forecast as well. But generally speaking, there's a chance for more strong to severe thunderstorms this weekend. Ahead of this cold front, it's also going to be warm. It's going to be windy, and also we will see some higher humidity, and that muggy, warm air will sustain some of these showers and thunderstorms. This front moves through overnight Saturday into Sunday. Behind it, it looks like the air is going to be much cooler. This is one forecast model, the GFS, the European model, also in pretty good agreement. And because both models are in pretty good agreement, we're fairly confident that things are going to be cooling down as we head into Sunday and Monday. So notice there, Monday of next week, well, we may only warm up into the upper 50s. Temperature's actually going to be below average at that time, and we may see that cooler air stick around into the middle of next week as well. Sunday, temperatures likely only topping out in the low 60s. And this front is going to be bringing with it some cooler air across the southeast, even colder air possible for parts of the Midwest, it looks like. So there's a very high chance that we're going to be seeing cooler than average temperatures as we head into next week, roughly February 17th through the 21st. Things are looking cooler here in South Mississippi. If you want some of the warmer weather, looks like you have to head down towards the desert Southwest. As far as any wintry precipitation goes, that's not in the forecast. That being said, though, we may see some temperatures getting closer to freezing Sunday night into Monday morning. So don't let this warm weather fool you. Winter is not over just yet. Sunday night into Monday, we probably need to protect plants again, and people and pets will also need to be protected from the cold. At least Monday and Tuesday look beautiful, more sunshine in the forecast, but it is going to be a good bit cooler. For those of you that have been wanting to wear more of your winter wardrobe, you still have the chance. You just probably have to wait until next week. Also though, Valentine's Day to kick off the day, things are looking chilly, but tomorrow it is going to be warm, it's going to be muggy. You may step outside and you may think that, oh, it kind of feels like it's going to be a stormy day. If you know what I mean, sometimes the air just kind of has that feel to it. That may be one of those days tomorrow. It's also going to be windy throughout the day. Temperatures easily getting into the mid to upper 70s before we see any of those showers. We do have that alert day tag there. While we don't expect this to be a big, major severe weather outbreak, we just want everyone to have a heads up that things could be getting rough at times by the afternoon and also later that evening. And like I said earlier in this weathercast, great way to stay updated with the forecast is to download our WLOX First Alert weather app. So we just want everyone to stay weather aware tomorrow. By Thursday and Friday, things are looking calmer, but also a heads up that as we head into Saturday, we may also have more showers and storms, especially that night. If you want another update on the forecast, I will be coming up on our 4 o'clock show. I'll have a few weather hits there throughout the evening. Our Chief Meteorologist Eric Johnson will be on the air giving the latest on tomorrow's severe weather potential. So for now, I am going to sign off here and get ready for our 4 o'clock show.